Hello, my good sir.
Well, hello there.
I'm John, by the way.
Fun. My name is Ricardo.
Nice to meet you. Is that Spanish?
Kinda.
Interesting.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, I have to expeditiously leave this area.
Expeditiously.
Expeditiously leave this area. And then now. Yeah.
What a boy.
No, what's good? I see ya. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
A little razzle razzle dazzle.
Little something song. But I'm Ace,
King Rick.
and this is Ace&KingRick Unplugged.
Yes, sir.
Today's topic is code switching.
Code switching.
So all you guys know, well, most of y'all, if y'all from them areas,
Yeah.
yeah,
The docs.
y'all code switch. Y'all code switch. Just because it's just one of them things. But the definition of code switching is basically you change your vocabulary, your variations of vocabulary, different versions
Like Spanglish.
and accents to accommodate a certain place, person, or situation. So
Like a noun.
yeah. So code switching mainly is how I define it is like the boardroom or corporate offices where it's, you're outside, you can talk to your friends however you feel like it, say whatever you want. But when you're in those corporate situations, you have to speak educated or proper is what most people classify it as. So that's kind of like my definition of code switching. It's like an example.
Yeah. I guess same thing. Code switching would be like I said before earlier, like Spanglish. Like you're talking grammatically correct, or
That's the word, yeah.
you can put some slang-a-lang-a-lang in there, you know what I'm saying? Do a little razzle-dazzle with that, make it sound good, like the way I'm talking right
You said the little razzle dazzle. You just, was it like a southern accent?
now. No, I mean,
A little razzle
in
dazzle.
North Carolina for damn near forever. So, yeah. I guess the Southern hospitality is coming through a little bit.
The southern hospitality.
Yeah, but then when you switch it on, well, hello. Today's my first day
Good question.
on the job.
When did you learn about code switching or have to code switch?
When I learned,
Yeah. Like you knew like this is something I had to do for
I wouldn't say it kind of just happened.
Okay.
I can't say that I mean, I may have seen it places, but I didn't realize I was doing something like that until I was doing it. Until like, hey, I'm talking, well, what's good, what up? How y'all doing, whatever, some of my friends. But then when like it's interview time, I'm all buttoned up. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you having a great day? What's going on? I would love to have this job. And, so like, I didn't realize it was a thing. I kind of thought I did it on my own and it just happened to work. But then as I got older, I found out it's a thing, like, how, more or less like how Black people can do it to be in the corporate world rather than white people doing it to be in the hood.
Like it was something that we had to do because
The only way for us to get a job is we had to talk grammatically correct.
in other terms we had to talk white.
Sure.
Yeah, the short version, we had to talk white. We had to, which also another thing, the Black culture comes a long way, but we had to talk white. We had to, do different things to make ourselves acceptable to white people. Otherwise, they would deem us as, oh, you're those black people. Instead of, and then when you become grammatically correct or carry yourself a certain word, then you technically are the token black guy. Like you're the one that the white people can hang with because you're not so aggressive. You're not a thug. You're not a gangster. You talk a certain way. So
you can really be alienated from both sides.
Alienated
from both sides of your culture, like cultures. If you think about it, if you don't, for you to fit in, it's like you have to alienate yourself to be by yourself. Like, because if you want to stay quote unquote with your hood, with your friends, and you'll never get the job that you want. But if you want to be in a corporate business, you also can be hood.
Like you have to pretend.
Yes. And I feel like that's a lot of times, not a lot of times, but I feel like a very small amount maybe. That's how, in my opinion, you start to get almost becoming bipolar because you're trying to be two different people. Granted, it might be yourself, but you're being two different people, which causes you to split because you're trying to please everyone and not please yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like switching like that kind of fucks with your brain.
Oh yeah, no. I can get behind that like 1,000% because you're always. Oh, excuse me. You're always, you have like say you have to. If you don't do this, then you're not acceptable in the corporate world or in white people's world. And if you don't do this, then it's like, oh, you're not black. It's that same thing where it's like you're stuck in between it. And that's all it comes down to. Like a lot of mixed race individuals is that you have both. You have a little bit of both. So how you are and how you're going to be, it's not going to be
just all day represent
just fully to one side. It's like, oh, you don't sag your pants, so you're not black. Or oh, you don't drug deal.
Quick side note: sagging your pants is a jail thing. I just want to say that real quick. Like this, I don't get it. Sagging your pants is a jail thing. Like that means you get played in the booty hole. Like I just don't. That
means you're open for business.
Hey, I mean, like you know what I mean. You're sending invites.
What was that? Oh my God! Have you seen that video? What's the guy? I think he was called the Booty Warrior. It was like the black dude. He was like, I likes you, and I wants you. And it was good, but it was kind of like it had to do with like, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but if I'm correct, it was like he talked about people guys sagging their pants, and then people sagging their pants in jail means you're open for business. So he was just like, and that's how he used to be. Like he's like, I want you. He's like, I like it.
And I'm sending invites, bro. Just stop that. Then you can't get mad when you get hit on by someone who like, oh, hello. Like, I mean, you're legit putting it out there.
You can't run in your pants are sagging. You can't run fast enough when your pants are sagging. Boy, don't trip your ass up.
Don't understand. But anyway, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Goddamn, pull your pants up.
But back to that, it's just like that. It's the whole. You're divided between who you are and who everybody else around you, like you said, wants you to be. You could grow up in a black community. If you're half and half, then technically your other side, and it's just gonna be different. You might talk different. You might sound different, look different, whatever. But to them, to both sides, you're never gonna be that person. Like you're never gonna be what they want you to be. You're always gonna be a little bit of both. So, do you think that, like we touched on just not too long ago, but do you think that it's not mandatory, but do you think that it's easier now? Like, just figure out how to break this down. But what do you think? Okay, so do you think that back then it was mandatory for you to code switch, and now do you think it's more of a choice?
I think it was more mandatory back then because now it's publicly acceptable. Otherwise, you're racist.
Well, yeah, everything because everything.
So like I'm saying, so like it's like it's like kind of you're kind of having to force your hand to accept anyone who comes in, thuggish, dreads, black. It don't matter. I think now like
true.
You have to like back then it was more of a picker for choosing, and you had to know someone. But like even though as black people you didn't really get a lot of opportunities, but when you did, hopefully you took advantage of it. But like now, it's publicly acceptable for you to just be. However, tattoos on the neck, tattoos on the forehead, it don't matter.
And like no matter what job you go for,
you can get the job if you have the criteria.
It's discrimination.
It's discrimination or race.
It would discriminate on everything.
Yeah, so like I think now it's not as bad as it's more acceptable now than it was back then. So
yeah, so yeah, like you said, it definitely was like mandatory if you wanted to survive back then.
If you want to make money.
If you wanted to make money and survive for your family, you had to be that guy. And I always hated, from what I've heard in movies, you don't see movies and stuff like that, but from what I've always hated, how it be our own kind that hate us for doing certain stuff when you know this is what we have to do for us to survive. Like, if you got, DeMarcus, and he...
Go DeMarcus.
And he's...
Go DeMarcus. Sorry.
Oh, my God. But if you have DeMarcus, and he is going to, work at a sales place, but when you hear it, when he talks like he's like a John or like a Philip or like a Paul or some shit, you know what I'm saying? And he's talking different, like he's speaking different because it's the environment he's in, so he can succeed. And it'd be our own kinds to be like, oh, you a sellout. Oh, why would you go and do this? First of all, if I didn't do this, I would have no money. I would have no food on the table. I would have nothing. So why is it a problem that as my own kind, I needed to do this to succeed? Which, again, I said, one of my problems. One of my problems. Like, oh my God. Anyways, as far as the Black culture, we are some of the biggest contradictions in ourselves, and we disrupt ourselves so much from succeeding. And it don't even be the white people that much. It don't be any other race. It be us, ourselves. Because one Black person succeeds, the other Black people feel like, oh, well, why didn't you do all this for me? Anyways, that's another topic. We'll talk about it another day. But fuck, that's where y'all niggas irk my soul. Irk my soul to the fullest. So do you believe that besides for, being alienated or shunned from your own race, are there any other downsides to code switching that you think that it's like if you do it too much, or if you've done it, it's like, oh, problem, like you become inauthentic, or like...
Again, I think now it's acceptable. So, I don't think it's looked down upon as much as it used to be.
Mm.
So, I feel now you can get away with that. You won't be looked upon as, a hypocrite or not from either side, because now it's all about money. I mean, back then it was always about money, but now I feel like it's, again, it's out there. So it's not, like I said, again, now everyone's so conscious of being called discriminative or in the racist world that we the racism world, everyone doesn't want to be looked at like they're being racist to any type of ethnicity. So I feel like now it's okay to like I said, now it's okay to almost kind of code switching. It's like they're encouraging you to code switch than like it was back in the past. So I don't think it's a bad thing anymore.
I
think everyone has to. It's like almost like learning a second language. I think everyone needs to learn how to code switch now.
How to be able to adapt to your environment.
Yeah. So
like we see like the white guys, they be like talking like you'll be from the hood. It's just like they just learn to adapt.
I mean, you can do that, but don't do the corn rules. Just don't do the corn rules.
Don't listen.
No, don't
listen.
No.
Black. Listen. Me personally, I don't believe that we own a hairstyle. I believe we
don't.
I believe we own. Okay, so not a hairstyle, but I believe we own being natural, like just being ourselves. Like our hair grows a certain way, so let it be like that.
Yeah.
As far as hairstyles, I have no people say now would it look ugly on some people? Facts. Then don't wear it. That's on them. But you can't stop somebody like, hey, fades only look good on Black people because it's a fade. It's our hair. It's like
you seen that that Travis Kelce?
Oh, what they call it?
The Travis Kelce that he created the fade.
Yeah,
created the fade. Come on,
but that's also because it's that and it's not everybody trying to say it's not. So how I view it differently. It's not white people trying to take over. How I look at it as it's people only see certain people, so they ride with what they see. So, case in point, Beyonce. No matter what she does, her fucking quote unquote beehive is gonna just rock with it, even if it's trash, even if it's garbage, like her new song is. But
He doesn't like.
I think like no matter what she does, they're gonna be like, oh my God, it's Beyonce. Like Beyonce made a country song.
You see her code switching with that skin,
For each
looking like goddamn Michael Jackson.
yeah, but that's the part of that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of that stuff. But like when it comes to her and the country music, she made that song, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, black people in country music." When black people have been doing country music for the longest fucking time, and now that Beyonce had made a song, everybody's like,
though.
"No, we've been doing black people have been doing everything. We started shit, but we've been doing everything." You have from like big name people. Their name is like Darius Rucker. You know what I'm saying? And then you had Nelly, who had a whole fucking country album. So like, and then you have this is one girl, I can't remember her name, but she got this one song called like Buckle Bunny. It's like a whole mixtape.
Ask me shit.
But her shit, that to me, that sounds more country to me than just because somebody's from Texas. To me, okay, so just because somebody's from somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that they're just that music and that style is for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're from Texas doesn't mean that country music is your style. And you might listen to it, doesn't mean it's your style. And just because you're from New York doesn't mean that, gangsta rap and everything is yours. It's just like, it's not, it might not be yours. Like, it just might not be your style. So when she made that song, threw me for a fucking loop, the Beehive ran with it, and now she's fucking headlining the VMAs. When you had other black artists who's been trying this for the longest fucking time, but just because Beyonce...
Sometimes you just open the door. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but sometimes...
I don't think she opened shit. I don't think she opened shit.
I'm not saying she did.
I think she ruined it for others.
I feel like that's how people look at it. Like, she opened the door.
Nah, y'all.
You gotta think
the ones who think that. I think you guys are dumb.
I think you guys are dumb. The whole rap and rock thing. I mean, it's been done before.
With who?
Jay-Z, he did that whole,
Oh, with him and Linkin Park.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's been done before, on DMC and fucking Aerosmith.
Which his verse on that song was garbage as fuck too.
It's not about that. It's about the people that's.
Because it's what is it called? Like the D-Riders. They just, oh my God, no matter what they do, they can't fail. No, they can, just like everybody else. Like when she started doing the house music thing, because it's trending, so she jumped on it just like everybody else. But because Beyonce, she didn't jump on it. No, she created it. She fucking idiots.
I mean, I feel it's anyway. Back to code switching.
Yeah, back to code switching.
When he code switch,
I can't.
Okay, but question really. Do you think, compared to we're two different skin brothers, you know what I mean, legal brothers and the hood black brothers, but do you think there was different opportunities between your skin complexion and my skin? Do you feel like there was different treatment in as far as like, because in a sense that's
it's like in everyday life?
Yeah, like that's kind of challenging, in a sense. Like, do you think I was getting more opportunities than you were because of your skin? But I feel like I'm just gonna say, I feel like you were getting more opportunities because you were more grammatically correct than me as far as interviews and stuff like that. Because you can get a job in a dime and a half. But for me, it was.
But okay, yeah, just like you said. But think about it. How many does you had?
Not many.
I've had a shit ton.
I was saying.
So, but you see how they're not lasting long. So it's like, yeah, I might have gotten the job because I learned what I had to do because I've had to apply so many fucking times, or so many. Now, not saying like I had to do anything with like our skin color.
Mm-hmm.
It might have, but it's just like I had to apply so many fucking times, so I kind of learned the ins and outs of certain things. Like, oh, okay, I have to carry myself this way. I have to say certain things because it looks good. You only had to. You found a job, boom, you've been there for years. You found a job, boom, you've been there for years. Me, found a job, 3 months. Maybe I fired me.
Being like attachment anxiety. Like, I was like, I don't want to look for another job right now. This is cool. Like,
shit, so I don't look for another job, but they get rid of me. And what tells me that is that they'll tell me, oh, you're doing a great job, but they still get rid of me. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Whatever. Yeah. But as far as growing up wise, it was different. Like, well, we grew up in a town called Barnegat in Jersey.
Later on in life,
fucking white town.
Very small.
Up to like we've been called names and all types of stuff in the beginning when we grew up there.
Remember those just driving by us?
Yeah, people were driving by calling us names like that. Like, first of all, we grew up in Lakewood first. and then we moved to Barnegat.
Didn't really know nothing
Lakewood and
racism in that town. Until that town, like I knew it existed, but then until that town, when it was popular, like 8 black families.
Exactly. So it's like going to
definitely learn how to code switch.
Like going to school there, most of the black people that were not necessarily successful but popular in a sense were the ones who were in between. Like you had some of the ones who were quote unquote gangster who were here and there. You know what I mean? Might have gotten some girls, but they weren't like the ones that were successful were the ones that played both sides. Like what's his name? I mean I don't put people's names out there. So but you had the black dude with his last name with an H. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He was like that token black guy.
He was
a token black guy. So everybody like, oh, but people loved him. So it's like, it's like.
But he played, now you think about it, he played it the right way.
No, that was just him. Even talk to him like not with the
so
that was him. That was just him.
It's from living
in that place.
Environment.
He grew up there in it. So yeah,
so like for him to be completely black, his code switch was having to talk black because he already grew up talking
white,
grammatically correct.
Yeah.
So like, and that's what the whole thing was like. You know, with the whole going back and forth. Like, yeah, he might have been black but he wasn't from the hills, from the suburbs. But he knew how to talk the proper way to get what he needed to get, and whether or not he was using it to manipulate people or get to a certain standard that he got to, like.
But as far as us, not necessarily, I don't think necessarily color wise, but as far as us, it was just like Ricky was the good guy, and then I was the bad one. So it was
in a sense token black.
Yeah, in a sense. So it was like oh,
this is what's going on in the world, and this is what's bad in the world.
Yeah. And then it was just like me, like, oh, he's so violent. I heard he fights a lot. Yeah, I do, but because you have to.
I would say, but you did.
But I had to. Like, so it was different. Like nobody would press you per se, but everybody thought it was okay.
Everyone was scared.
Everyone thought it was okay to press me when, first of all, I'm under-fucking-feeded. Don't play me. So
everyone was scared of me.
Like
when these rocks.
But I felt like it was. Like I got in trouble in my schools a lot, but that's also because I was smart. I'm gonna rephrase that. I was smart as fuck. My grades were always good, honor rolls and shit. It was just people pressed my buttons.
He's the type of people that just it was boring because he knew it.
Yeah.
So rather me, I had to struggle just to get a C.
I mean, that's true. But see,
no matter how much I fucking studied, it didn't matter.
But so this one says a historical context, but basically going back to code switching, so that is technically like a form of code switching in a sense.
Sometimes you're born black in a white suburban area.
It's not that fast.
No, I'm not. I'm saying like sometimes it's black.
It's going to start opening the floodgates to you were born, and you were born, so then you can choose.
Well, I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying like sometimes it is sometimes you are a product of your environment, and I think that's how you learn.
People develop.
You learn how to code switch. It's the environment you're in, and then you learn. You're born in the environment you're in, and then you learn just how to talk with your friends and stuff like that, and the slang.
So do you think that's okay for because technically it's code switching. So when you have the the white kid who grew up in the ghetto, the hood,
yeah,
and he people see him and he's swag talking and because that's technically him. So that's his environment. So he was born white, but he had to learn to be amongst the black people because he was.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I strongly dislike. I don't use the word hate. I'm not going to strongly dislike someone from being who they are. Like you can tell when someone's faking, trying to be a part of something, and you can tell someone who actually grew up and been a part of it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like
you rather somebody just be who they are, be authentic, regardless if it seems weird to other people. But as long as you're
like I said, again, you can tell when someone grew up dealing with it being poverty, blah 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 blah, and you can tell
there's somebody watching videos.
Yeah, there's someone like, oh yeah, I just picked up
or listening to rap song.
When they speak, it don't sound good. Like how for the longest time, when I used to cuss, it sounded horrible. Like I could not cuss because me cussing it didn't sound good. It still didn't really sound good, truthfully, when I cuss. But like, you know, like it's one of those days, like it's like you don't look like the type of person that would cuss. Mm-hmm. You look like the type of person that would cuss. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like, you know, it fits it. Things like that fit people. So like I feel like if you're from a environment like that, you can tell someone from that kind of environment that they're not faking it. They're being themselves. So, like I said, and that's, you know, a part of switching, you know, doing different languages and like, you know, being one authentic person and then having to switch up to be someone else to get the job you want, or, you know, progress the field you want, and being able to basically just being able to
succeed,
yeah,
and basically like in everyday life.
Yeah.
No, I see. I get that. Now, since we are talking about code switching, and you know, it has to come down to, you know, accents, variations, you know, different languages,
dialects.
Yes, all that stuff. How important do you think it is to keep the black language the black language? Because if everybody end up code switching, eventually, do you think they will lose their identity? Like, do you think the language will end up evolving to a point where it's everybody says it instead of just black people saying it?
I think we're kind of there now.
Do you think everybody just says everything just slang?
Or
I mean, they'd be adding slang to the dictionary.
You know about it. They are adding slang. Like it's like now, like when black people used to talk their slang, people really didn't understand it. Now people are understanding it. You know what I'm saying? So like now it's more like worldwide, as far as like it used to be like a secret code amongst friends, but now everyone understands what you're saying, or what you're like, you know what I mean, or what you're trying to get across. So I mean, I guess what you're saying too, as far as like that's why the language probably is going to evolve to where like when
it's just going to be one language, everybody's going to be speaking the same damn thing, and saying the damn thing.
I mean, now the difference now is just accents and dialects, not necessarily being black or white, as far as like, you know, speaking slang or not slang. Now it's more or less, do you have an accent? You saying it, or I think that's where we're at now, to where accents are,
oh my God,
a bigger part.
Speaking of accents, don't you hate when people sit there and say, oh, you don't sound like you're from somewhere, when it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to sound? Like, if I am from here, because when I talk, like I said, we're from Jersey. So when I talk, people be like, oh, you don't sound like you're from Jersey. Have you been? So how the fuck you supposed to know what I'm supposed to sound like if you've never been? And I'm like, I have friends and people who sound just like me. They be like, oh, no, you don't sound like, I don't sound like.
I dislike that a lot. But what I learned is not the accent of how we sound. It's the aggression.
Oh, but we're not from New York.
We're not, but New Jersey's like, we're still like, when you're coming down here, and we Southern house,
New York is everything. That's literally all it is.
But like, when you came down here, it was a Southern hospitality. We're used to people like cussing you off, and that means like, hey, what's up, hello. Now down here, when they're actually like being nice, it's like, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you being nice to me like that? I'm not used to that kind of nice.
See, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's literally like, people be like, oh, you don't sound like you're from Jersey, because one, they watch TV.
Goddamn Jersey Shore. That fucking show. I'm excusing my language, but that damn show ruined it all for everyone. They're goddamn Italians. They're not from Jersey. Like and they're from like across the bridge, fake ass Brooklyn, Brooktown. I don't know what you are, but no, stop it. That's what people keep putting us to. Like, we're from like, oh, you from Jersey Shore? Yeah, because we live there don't mean that. That's the culture. There's some whack ass spiky hair griddle.
Them people were hated as fuck. Nobody liked them. They stayed overseas, and when they crossed the bridge one time, they got beat up at the little barbershop that they be trying to go to. They're not tough. They painted a picture. Like, how you have something in Jersey and not have one black person at all? Dumb. That don't even make no fucking sense. But it all had nothing but all Italians. Like, no diversity. It's just literally all Italians.
That's what it sounds like anyway. I mean, we could be.
No, they are.
But like, it's just like, y'all was from New York and like all that whack. Like
I think a good amount of them were, or Staten Island.
Cool. Like, I mean, and like, it's all good and dandy, but like, bro, no, don't equate New Jersey with Jersey Shore. That's not the same. That's a fake ass reality TV show. It's not the same.
True. Okay,
we seen these people in real life. No.
True. Okay, and they were short as fuck. But back to topic. People like like you said, people think that because we're from Jersey, that we have to sound like, if we're close to New York, okay, we're going to sound differently because we're closer to New York. New York has its own accent as well, and speech and how they talk. But we're from like Central Jersey by the beach and shit, so how we talk is going to be different. Even though we're from Jersey, we're still like, I was saying, I never understood how people would like, oh, you don't sound like you. Like, well, if you've never lived there, how the hell do you know what somebody from Jersey is supposed to sound like just because you watch TV? No, I'm not from New York. I'm from Jersey. But and then again, when I'm around my family and friends, like my other family that's in Jersey, and the accent comes out a little bit, but that's only because of how who I'm around. I mean, like it's not forced. It's just like natural. Like,
so do you think that do you think that whoever you around, that's the language you use?
No. When I get aggressive and angry, my accent comes out.
Interesting.
Like, so like if I'm start talking with my hands and saying something, it's like it just comes out more because it's like it's a part of me. But I try to articulate myself in certain ways, so not necessarily close to it, but I try to articulate myself in certain ways so you can understand what I'm saying. But if I have to, I can. I mean, I guess it is close switching.
It is close switching.
I guess it is technically close switching.
Your whatever environment you're in, you change.
Your mother, she white. Like, I don't tell you.
She gonna say she not, but
I don't tell y'all she is.
Dia, come on,
like,
come on, Dia.
But I don't. It's like not. It's not like you said. It grew up in an environment because it's something that I physically and forcefully do. It's just.
Like I said, it's not something you do learn it, but you don't learn it from someone teaching you. You learn it just based off where you at.
Yeah, how you grow up.
So, that's why I was saying, yeah, first that's that question. Like, yeah, I learned it, but it wasn't because someone taught me. It's just something
you developed it.
You just experienced and developed on your own. But yeah, I think we definitely changed the way we talk depending on what group of people we are around, and that's a huge code switch for any and everybody. I think everyone does it as far as like you're one group of friends. Oh, wait, what up, my guy? What up? Set it up. Then be other, hey, how you doing? How's it going? You know, what's life like?
I definitely do it to a lot of white people.
Yeah, I mean,
or if I'm in a corporate world, I do switch to the corporate world because I can't be like, yeah, what's good to somebody in the corporate world because they're gonna look at me like, But now, like I said, now you know what's good. You don't have a job. Thank you. Have a great day. Like nowadays, they understand it, and you have more Black business owners. So and then like people can wear their hairstyles the way they want to, all that. So it has developed.
Yeah, it's burp again.
Yeah, facts. It has developed and changed, but I don't know. That's like you said. It's just part of some people. Like it's just
like I said. It's becoming.
It's interesting.
It's becoming more acceptable. So like it's hard to explain now because we're just always in it. It's not, like I said, it's not like a secret society anymore. It's everyone knows it now. So like it's not like, having to.
So do you think it's gonna like, well, you already said that you think it's gonna like eventually become like one like entity, like not entity but one.
It's gonna evolve. It's gonna evolve more. Especially with social media.
Like, literally what you speak, I speak wah. And then it's just like, that's literally all it is. There's no like depiction or description of it. It's just that.
Yeah. We're going to be like, instead of like countries that have like Swahili, French, and like Dutch all in the same country from like 3 different cities.
The fact you have Swahili though.
Thank you. And then but like, it's all like 3 different cities, but they're all right next to each other. They're all speaking different language. I think we're getting past that to where like
Africa is it's
very
amazing, but Africa is very diverse. You have people who speak Spanish, French, different dialects, blah blah blah, like all within. Even though Africa's fucking huge, but it's still like your neighbor, like people nearby. The next town over could be speaking French. The next town over could be like village, town, whatever you want to classify it.
And as far as America, it's just if you're from here, it's the same. English is just a tweak of an accent.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. So pretty much it's going to be English and Spanish. You know what I mean? With different dialects.
Well, I mean, they're making sure everybody learns Spanish.
There's Spanglish out there, so like, Spanglish is eventually going to catch on to a lot more people, and then everyone's going to be just.
I speak Spanglish. I know some words. and I'll say something, but honestly, I'd rather just speak to you in English. A lot of times I don't want to like butcher somebody's language. I think it's disrespectful. Like if I try to say it, but it's like, you know, like the word is like, what's it, like gracias. But if I said like
de nada,
like gracias or gracias, like it to me, it just like,
you're slinging it, yeah.
But everybody's like, nah, I'd rather just not say it. Like,
I mean, like I always say de nada. I know it's de nada, but de nada.
Yes, I feel that's just you putting your own little flavor on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing with gracias, it's technically it's just you just put a little flavor on it. Not really a code switch, more like
But it gets hooked on with everyone.
It gets the people going.
Factoid.
Yeah. So, all right. So, branching off. Okay. So that was our whole topic of code switching. Has there, for everybody watching, has there been a time that you had to deal with code switching, or that you feel like you had to code switch to get an important job anywhere? It could be McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. It don't matter. A restaurant, Buffalo Wild. It could be anything. Like how was your experience as far as you thinking code switch? You had to code switch to get the job, and do you think code switch is becoming a universal thing, or do you still think it's split up to minority and white thing? Let us know. What he said, because obviously I couldn't fucking speak.
At your back door.
I damn sure couldn't speak. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, because shit. But are there like tips that you would give people to like this word? Like tips on when they should code switch and when they shouldn't. Like if you want to do it, like give you a top 3. Like if you want to code switch, these are the times you should code switch.
Always code switch at interviews. You want to be your most grammatically correct self, but yourself. You have to figure that balance out. Be yourself at the same time. Use the right words to articulate yourself. Make sure you do that right. Do it. Be comfortable in your own skin, but do it around the friends that you're most comfortable with. Don't try to do something new with people you don't know. As far as code switching.
Okay.
Like don't always stay to your authentic self, but don't try to speak Spanish fluently and butcher all these words when you know you don't really say just to look cool. Like if you know it, but don't go ahead and make something up just to try to fit into someone's group. Like don't do that.
Well, my 3 would be 1. Well, these are my top 3 tips on when you should code switch. 1, to get yourself out of trouble. Always, I say code switch like a motherfucker if you got to, because it save your life.
Especially when you get pulled over.
2, when you want to be in a white person's world. Only time to code switch, because you can't be a black person in a white person's world, because no matter how many people say that they respect you and like you, they're still gonna look at you differently. 3, and the most important one, when you should code switch, is never. Always be yourself. Fuck all the stuff I said before then. Remember that. Be yourself. Forget what you said.
That was a dumbass build up, but all right.
No, I mean I appreciate it. No, that was first of all, that was my top 3.
Y'all knew it was coming. Y'all felt it. The way it was slowly building it up.
Think about it. It's like when people say,
I knew it was coming.
Like say, hey, we only have one rule. We don't do rules.
You almost sound like Conor McGregor. He said, I want to thank absolutely fucking nobody. It was all me.
I mean, listen. But yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
We wrapped up. This is our fourth episode. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys
there and do all the good stuff.
Yes. And check out our other video, our podcast.
Please and thank you.
Episode 1, 2, and 3. And put your feedback. Give us, well, not put your feedback, but put your feedback, comments. Give us
honest opinions.
your honest opinion.
What can we get?
What you would like to see, what you haven't seen. If you guys would like us to talk about other topics that are something that's on your mind or you've seen people talk about, let us know. And we will
do our best to accommodate it.
But it's your boy Ace,
King Rick,
and this is Ace and King Rick Unplugged.
Yes, sir.
Here.